says the grammar Nazi when you really need her. All right, it is your turn, and this is Brent. Good morning, Brent. You're a farmer, and you see both sides of the issue. What are they, both sides of the issue?
Well, Jan, I can understand where the folks from the Des Moines Water Works are coming from, and I sympathize with them on the amount of money that they're spending to remove the nitrates. But on the other side of things, farmers have not sat idly by over the last 20 years. We have done our part in reducing the amount of nutrients that are going into our waters.
And you hired that PR guy that called a few minutes ago to blame it on the lawn care industry. See, I understand how sneaky you people are.
No, that's one of the many things. I'm not saying that farmers are not to blame, because we certainly are. As a farmer, I'll be the first to admit it.
Okay.
But one statistic I want to share, Jan, with you real quick. Back in the 1980s, farmers produced somewhere like, I don't remember what specific year it was, but like 6.5 billion bushels of corn across the state, using approximately 3.4 pounds of nutrients, so like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium per bushel. In 2012, we produced over 12 billion bushels of corn using like 1.6 or 1.5 pounds of nutrients per bushel. That's a huge change.
Okay. So,
and also, okay, what were you going to say?
Well, then why are we suing Northwestern Iowa then?
Well, I think it's kind of come down to the case that Des Moines Water Works is trying to get some money to help compensate for their costs. And I can
exactly. And who's got the money?
Well,
people in Northwestern Iowa.
Well, they seem to think so, but these small counties, I'm not sure that they have it, but they seem to think so in Des Moines.
It's only the right thing, right?
Well, according to them.
So what's the solution, if there is one?
I think maintaining the status quo. The good folks at the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, Bill Northey and IDOLS, along with Iowa State University Extension, the Iowa Nutrient Reduction Strategy, that has done wonders. And you can tell the results from that the last 5 years, the last 3 years that they've started to implement that. We've seen good results. We need to keep working with that. And the new Farm Bill, unfortunately, did have some setbacks in terms of conservation programs versus the 2008 Farm Bill. But despite that, farmers are going to continue to do their role in maintaining the environment.
So if Des Moines gets away with it, what happens next?
I think that sets a precedent that would be similar to the regulations we see in the Chesapeake Bay area, which would be detrimental for farmers and farm production. You start regulating farmers to that point, and I understand that that's some different circumstances up in that area, but a similar concept exists. If you start regulating farmers to that point, cutting back on their production and such, their pocketbooks are going to be affected, and not so much concerned with farmers, but all these rural communities that largely depend on the economy of agriculture, they'll feel the pinch too.
So if Des Moines gets away with it and gets some money, and if they actually figure out a way to bill somebody else, another region, for the cost of treating their water, everybody's going to be suing everybody.
Well, that's my thing, Jane. See, Des Moines Water Works and I think 15 other municipal utilities similar to Des Moines Water Works exist in the state of Iowa. And they have the ability, because they are not technically the net contributors, they call it, of the pollutants. The ones that they extract, or the nitrates they extract, they can put it back into the water sources. They have that legal right, okay? Now, this downstream, if Des Moines Water Works can sue us, why can't these other cities downstream from the Des Moines Water Works sue Des Moines Water Works for physically putting the toxins back into the water? Farmers were not physically, intentionally doing it. We've got a number of other factors, including Mother Nature and excessive rainfall last December. That kind of accelerated the nutrient runoff that we saw last
So why
December.
can't they use or reuse or recycle the nitrogen that they're sucking out of the water?
That's a good point. You brought that up earlier in your program just before the break, and I have no idea. And I hope to God there's a good reason they're not doing it, because there's farmers out there that would certainly do that, that would certainly buy back the chemical or the nutrient.
Well, people are pounding on me on my messages saying, well, the water we'd suck out of the ground from the aquifer has so much nutrients already, not nitrates, but it has mineral context that it would just chew up all of the pipes and clog all of the water heaters, and nobody wants that water. It's good for drinking, but it's bad for everything else.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I have no idea if that's true. I mean,
well, and I don't know either. That's just kind of the circumstances of the situation. But the way I look at it, Jan, there's people that, there's the ability to go out and monitor your farm or your rural well water. These people that are concerned. I know a lady spoke up at the public forum yesterday at the Des Moines Water Works had and said that she'd like to see more federal regulations in terms of monitoring these rural wells. Well, we have the capabilities out here. Your public health departments, they'll come out and they'll do these monitor water tests for free. So I think people should take initiative to do that and monitor it themselves. They can't expect everything to be just handed out to them.
Okay. All right.
Can I leave you with one last message, Jan, before I let you go?
I'm not sure. My response is always to answer rhetorical questions. So
okay.
Therefore, yes.
It's nothing bad. I just want the American public to know, and specifically Iowa, that farmers, the consumers are expecting us to increase the amount of food that we produce year after year. Okay?
Right.
Would they say 9 billion people by 2050?
Right.
And with that, we have to do that with fewer resources year after year. It's like them buying groceries for their family with less money year after year.
So it's your fault, basically. If you'd stop feeding them, we would have less of them to worry about.
Well, I don't know if it's our fault, but it's just a sticky situation.
You get the last word, Brent. Hey, thank you.
11 a.m.